Hello, and welcome to another installment of the SAP Ariba video series. Today I'm going to show you how to create and report on custom supplier profile questionnaire fields. Many of our customers are not aware that they have the ability to report on custom SPQ fields. Any user that has the ability to modify the SPQ can set up these fields in your realm. In order to do that, the user would need to be part of the project owner group on the Supplier Knowledge workspace. Once a field has been set up as reportable, the data will be available to pull into any report that includes the supplier dimension. There are a couple of other things that you need to be aware of. First, only certain field types can be made reportable, and each of those field types has a limit as to how many can be set up. So for example, we can set up a total of 45 single-line text fields as reportable. The other thing to point out is if you have a field set up that allows a list of choices and you give the participant the ability to select multiple values, then that field cannot be reportable. So now that you have a little bit of background, let's pop over into the system to take a look. So I've logged into my system and I'm at the supplier dashboard. The first thing we need to do is open up the SPQ. So we're going to go to Manage, Supplier Knowledge, and now we're taken into the Supplier Knowledge workspace. From here, let's go ahead and open up the Supplier Profile Questionnaire. From within the SPQ, we're able to see all of the different questions, the potential answers, and information about the fields, such as whether or not it's visible to the supplier or not. If we were to click on this table icon, it'll bring up a list of other columns that we're able to add to this view. You can see there's one down here for reportable. Selecting that, we're able to see if this particular field is set up as reportable or not. I've added these two questions at the very bottom of the SPQ. Both of them are set up as reportable. One is visible to the suppliers, the other is not. So now let's go ahead and add a new question. So we're going to go up to Actions. And before I go into Edit, I'm going to click on View Available Reportable Fields. This will bring up a screen that will show you the amount of available field types that you can set up as reportable. So you can see here, we have used 2 of the entire 45 short text fields. So we would be able to set up 43 more short text fields as reportable. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and click Actions, Edit Content. Now we have a draft version of our SPQ open. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the bottom, and what we're going to do is add a new question under the Section 5 Extra Info. All right, so let's go ahead and give this a name. All right, so once we give it a name, I want to look down here at the answer type. So open this up, and you can see that these are all the different field types that we can make this question. As we talked about earlier, there are only certain field types that can be made reportable. Right now we have it set to text single line limited, and you can see down here that we have the option to make this usable in analytical reporting. If we were to go back up here and change this to a different field type, let's take address, for example, the ability to make this field reportable goes away. So again, there are only certain types of fields that can be made reportable. We're going to go ahead and go with text single line. And what I want to do is change the acceptable values to a list of choices. So I go down to add my choices. All right, so we've added our values. So I'm going to go back up. For response required, I'm going to set this up to not require a response. And I'm also going to change this to not be visible to the participants. The other key thing that I wanted to show here is we set this field up as a list of choices. If we were to allow participants to select multiple values, then we would not be able to report on this field. So we need to make sure that that field is set to no. So now we're going to go ahead and change the reporting field to yes. Once we did that, you can see that this new field popped up for short name. This is what will be shown as the column name when we go to search for this in the reporting tool. So we'll go ahead and give this a name. And now we can click on Done. And you can see that we have added our new question here that will be reportable and is not visible to the supplier. So from here, we're going to go publish the SPQ. And now we have to confirm. We can see what the change is here, right? We're adding a new field. So let's go ahead and click on OK. And now we can see the profile questionnaire has been published. Now we'll go ahead and take a look to see if this field is available for us to add to a supplier. Go to Actions, Edit Profile, and we're going to go ahead and give this field a value. All right. I'm going to select South and click OK. So now we've updated this one supplier with a value for our new field. So now let's go take a look at how we would report on this. We're going to go up, create analytical report. Now we got to choose our fact table. And remember what I said earlier is that this data would be available in any fact table that has the supplier dimension as part of it. For the purposes of this, I'm actually going to use the supplier customer fact table. Okay. Now when adding these fields, what we want to do is go to, instead of available hierarchies, we want to click this drop down and select available fields. And now what we want to do is scroll down until we get to the supplier section. All right, so now we can see down here the supplier customer information. And if we scroll down, we will see our custom fields. Favorite color. Let's add that as a detail field. Legal name. Let's add that as a detail field. Headquarters region is also there as well. So let's go ahead and add that detail field. And then we can move on to next. And let's run our report. All right. And here's our report pulled up. And as you can see, the field that we have added, the data pool has run, and the data is now in this report. So that's it. We just walked through the process of how to add a custom field to the SPQ and make it reportable. That concludes this DIY video. I hope it has been helpful, and thanks for watching.